and get that. All right, so we're good to go. All right, guys, so welcome back for day 2 of the Experience Elevate Live. I'm so excited for today because we are going to actually go behind the scenes and you guys get to experience hypnosis firsthand. The thing that I'm going to ask for you guys today is just to be open to receive. I know a lot of times we as women feel like we need to give, and this is your opportunity to really receive. So I'm excited to be able to share these things with you. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I have like just a little bit of the history of hypnosis before we dive in, it's just so that you guys can get like an idea of what to expect. And we'll even talk about, I don't know why this is driving me crazy. Oh my goodness. Sorry. You guys will get an idea of like what to expect with it from behind the scenes and all that fun stuff. So I am going to, I wanted to put it so that it just is the speaker, my speaker view. Let's see, I can't figure this out. Well, while I'm doing that, I'm just going to say welcome back for day 2. Yesterday we did tapping, which is all about like balancing your energy, restoring your energy, like all the things. And then we also did some anchoring, which is like one of my absolute favorite things to do. So that was really exciting. We created an abundance anchor. So if you guys did not catch the replay, definitely catch that tonight. You will be so grateful that you did. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to dive into hypnosis today. And for those that are new to hypnosis, I am going to tell you that it's nothing like what you see on the movies or on TV or like the stage hypnosis where people are barking like a dog or running around butt naked or going to rob a bank or anything like that. It is totally different than what you've probably experienced. And essentially what it is it's a trance-like state where you are given these suggestions, but you have increased attention towards what it is the suggestions are. So yesterday, I talked a little bit about how our mind works, and I'm going to just do a brief overview to re explain that. So, we have our conscious mind, then we have our analytical mind. Or our critical faculty, also known as like our BS meter. And then we have our subconscious mind. And we often know how to use our conscious mind, and then we try to effort or force our way to move in the direction of where we want to be by forcing, by efforting, by saying, reciting these affirmations, by doing these same routines. And we don't really make lasting transformation because we're not really embedding it deeply in our subconscious mind. And the power of hypnosis is that it moves beyond your critical faculty, which is right in the middle, and embeds powerful suggestions into your mind. And a cool fact that you should know is whatever your subconscious mind holds is what it's actually going to be drawn towards. So, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to give your subconscious mind powerful affirmations and statements to hold so that you start moving towards the direction of your success, which will be super exciting. And all you have to do is just totally relax. It's really, really cool. Um, Even if I've had clients fall asleep and they're like, I'm not sure, I got anything, your subconscious mind never goes to sleep. It registers every single thing. And so even if you fall asleep, even if you feel like you lose attention at some point, your subconscious mind is still picking up and it's still picking up everything that's going on around you and taking it all in. Okay. So just remember that there is literally no right or wrong way other than just allowing yourself to relax. So what I want to do now is if you can feel free to either come off of mute or you can feel free to type in the chat box. I'd love to know what are some of the things that you've heard about hypnosis. Because I know for me, when I was first uncovering like hypnosis and exploring it, I was like, no, I'm not trying that. It is terrible. And now that's something that I do regularly. If not, I probably do hypnosis about twice a week. I make my own hypnosis now that I kind of know language patterns and the context behind how to do it. I actually certify coaches in hypnosis and teach what's called Milton model and meta model language patterns to teach us how to kind of send our brain into a hypnotic or trance-like state to embed the suggestions that we want. And so I really, really love it because now I can start to impact my mind in a positive way. And I love being able to do that. And I love being able to show other people how to do it as well, because it totally contradicts what we see on like movies and TV. So I'd love to know if there's anything that you've heard about hypnosis. It can be bad, it can be good, it can be all the things. I know for me, one of the things that I heard was it was mind control. Like somebody was going to be trying to control your mind or tell you what to do or anything like that. Yep, it's not Christian based. Oh my gosh. So I actually have an entire video on YouTube about being a Christian and a hypnotherapist, because that was the same thing. When I first like uncovered hypnotherapy, it was from another Christian, and she kept telling me, like, it's not what you think it is. And I just felt so much guilt. Like I did not even want to explore it. I didn't even want to try it. And I don't know what got me to let my guard down, other than I just felt this intuitive nudge to do it. And it's changed my life. And I firmly believe that God wants us to be able to understand ourselves. And I believe that God sent us here for a purpose. And part of that is meaning we have to get out of our own way. And sometimes that starts, a lot of times that starts with our thoughts, our thinking, and our mind. And that's when I really started to embrace hypnosis and love it. It's been so life-changing. But I've definitely heard that one before, is that it's not for Christians. I actually was talking to, I think, Erica about that recently, about that piece, and I can definitely share that video, my YouTube video, where I share like my journey and how I uncovered it, and just how I came to terms with feeling like this was safe for me to do. I honestly, if I can be really transparent, I've never felt as connected to God as I do now that I understand the way my mind works. And I feel like I'm starting to create beliefs that actually serve my success. I'm starting to see, like, man, like God made me in an amazing way. Like obviously he made me in his image, but to really understand the intricacies of my mind and how it works and how to maximize my own power, it's been such a beautiful experience. And I'm excited to be able to showcase and support you guys with that as well. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So hypnotherapy began back in 1863, and it's really a powerful way to work with your subconscious mind to reprogram your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions, and your beliefs. Really cool fact that most people don't know is from the ages of 0 to 7, we are essentially in a walking trance. And this is why kids that are 0 to 7 are like sponges. They're taking in things all the time. But then when we get older, our prefrontal cortex begins to evolve and develop, and we become more rational, and we're trying to rationalize or make sense of things. Whereas when we're younger, we're just taking it all in. This is why if you tell a little boy, like, you can't fly, they are 100% convinced that they can fly, because in their mind, they believe it, and they're taking in everything that they're seeing, and they're creating their own reality. And kids are so imaginative, but I feel like sometimes in society, even we as parents, like I'm guilty of it, we can sometimes minimize or get in the way of what potential that they have because of our own limiting beliefs. And so with hypnosis, it allows you to kind of let that guard down, that critical faculty that I talked about. It's also known, people will call it like a BS meter. So sometimes we'll tell ourselves like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have $1 million business, but you've never made 7 cents in your business before. And so what's happening is you're thinking this with your conscious mind, and you're trying to rationalize, like, how would I ever get to $1 million? I never made anything. And so your critical faculty, or AKA your BS meter, is saying, oh yeah, no, that'll never happen. And so then you blow it off. And what ends up happening is you create almost like these neural pathways that confirm that belief, right? That confirm that you'll never be $1 million business earner, that confirm that you'll never get out of your own way, that confirm that you'll never lose weight, or whatever those limiting beliefs are. If on the other hand, when you do hypnosis, the hypnosis moves past your critical faculty, you don't have enough time to rationalize it or talk yourself out of it or consciously try to make sense of it. And this is why it embeds in your subconscious mind. And again, what that subconscious mind holds is what it's going to be drawn towards. One of the things that I will say in the hypnosis, you may or may not hear it, depending upon how deep in trance you go. One of the things that I will task your subconscious mind with is to actively be working towards your success. And the reason that I do that is because, again, your subconscious mind is never going to sleep. It's not resting. And so that means your subconscious mind is going to start looking for things that allow you to create success. And what you'll notice over the next few days, over the next few hours, over the next few weeks and months, is that you'll notice you'll be drawn towards different intuitive ideas or different spiritual downloads or different, choices. You'll be drawn towards things. And it's not surprising. I had a client that I did a hypnosis with, maybe it was about a month ago. And it was actually a male client. I have very few male clients, but I always love this story. He was like adamant that he wanted to increase his productivity. He's a new dad. And because of the pandemic, his daughter is home with him. And she's like 2, so he's trying to work, trying to take care of his daughter. His wife's at work, so he was exhausted. And so we did hypnosis on productivity, and it was probably within about 3 days that he had knocked his productivity board down to like 1 or 2 tasks, because he had literally reprogrammed his mind to I worked with him to reprogram his mind to believe that productivity was available for him, to believe that it was already happening. And so what happened is he was drawn towards things that made him kind of move quicker. And he was like, it was just like, it just happened really naturally. And that's what I love about it. So some benefits about hypnosis that I love is that you can have amazing shifts within a single session, like this. Now, I do say that I like to do a few hypnosis sessions. And if you do decide to move forward and go into my certification, you definitely will learn how to create your own hypnosis, and you can do a million sessions on yourself. But I will be honest, you can have a shift within one single session. I firmly, wholeheartedly believe you guys will have a shift after today. You also learn how to connect with your subconscious mind and understand the power of it, which is, I mean, it's so, I can't even put it into words how amazing it is when you understand and step into that power of using your mind to work in your favor. You begin to create new ways of thinking. I am so cautious of my thinking because, really cool tip, your subconscious mind doesn't register negatives. And so a lot of times we'll say things like, I am debt. I have no debt, right? Your subconscious mind doesn't understand the word no debt or that phrase no debt. So all it heard was the word debt. And as crazy as this sounds, you're going to be drawn towards situations that put you in debt because that's the only thing you heard. So now I'm even cognizant because I know my subconscious mind isn't going to sleep, isn't resting, and it's always tuning in and always listening and taking everything literally. I'm very cognizant and conscious of what I say. Since I've learned these tools, I don't let my daughters say the word can't. Like, can't is literally, we have a can't jar in my house, meaning that if you say can't, you have to contribute 5 cents for my youngest and 25 cents for my oldest into the can't jar. And that's only because they get an allowance. But you have to contribute money into the can't jar because I'm literally trying to reprogram their mind and the way they speak every single day, because I know how powerful our words are now, really understanding these things. So understanding hypnosis and going through it can help you to really change your way of thinking and reflect on it. Um, Another benefit is you remove limiting beliefs. And that's some of the things we talked about yesterday, was that our limiting beliefs will help us, it's almost like a guaranteed strategy to self-sabotage. When we have limiting beliefs, your mind is looking for ways to prove that that belief is accurate, that belief is true. And so then in turn, you begin to start self-sabotaging, which is no good for anyone. So you begin to be able to remove those limiting beliefs. And then with hypnosis, you also get to shift your habits, patterns, and behaviors, which I love. So really quick before we actually dive into the hypnosis, I'm super, super pumped about it. I actually posted this on Instagram and then came and stole it and put it on my slide. But I wanted to share some of the things that I know a lot of people think hypnosis is compared to what it actually is. So a lot of times people, again, think hypnosis is mind control. It's not mind control at all. I had the client that I shared with you guys earlier, the gentleman, he told me that it almost felt like a guided form of relaxation. The only difference is, again, the language patterns that are used are allowing it to embed further into your subconscious mind. It's not something scary or spooky or any reason to be afraid. I think a lot of times people feel like they're losing control or it feels weird. The thing is, you are in total and complete control. And I never, ever, ever would, because I take my role as a hypnotherapist very seriously. Even if I were to tell you, like, go rob a bank, if that is not in alignment with who you are, you're not going to go do it, because your mind still knows who you are at the core. Your mind still is aligned with your values. So there's no reason to be scared or afraid of any of it. And I think you're going to love it so much, you're going to want to listen to the replay a million times. What I'm doing from a hypnotherapist point is I'm just being very gentle with your mind, and I'm helping you to really focus your attention to speak to your unconscious mind, to focus on the things that it is that you want to call into your life. And then the other thing is, hypnosis is not you being zonked out or out of control or anything like that. It's an opportunity for you to really be able to be in control and master your mindset and to create beliefs that align with your success. So I really wanted to touch base on that because, Again, we have a lot of negative beliefs thanks to like movies and stage hypnosis and things like that. And this is not at all what it is. Cool fact with stage hypnosis, the people that do hypnosis on stages, they actually already pre-qualify people before, and they look for who's like very vulnerable and who could be easily like almost controlled a little bit. So it's totally different. Like this form of hypnosis is literally to just align your mind with what it is that you want to call into your life. So totally different than anything you've probably seen online. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and experience it. So I am so glad I see some more people that popped in. um, you popped in at a great time. If you just popped in, you'll be able to catch the replay to get some of the history about hypnosis, where it began, some of the almost like limiting beliefs around it or myths around it. And then at the end, after, I'll open up. Well, actually, I can open up for Q&A if there's somebody that has a specific question before we experience it. It'll be about 20-25 minutes long. But I want to see if anyone has a question before we dive in, and I'll open up for that. Okay, no questions. All right, so what I'm gonna ask you guys to do is I'm just gonna ask you guys to get super comfortable. I wrote out a beautiful script for you guys. Um, I was so excited for this challenge. So I'm just going to ask you guys to get super comfortable and just allow yourself to relax. A couple of things I just want to kind of set the tone, set the expectations. Many people come to me as the hypnotherapist and expect that there is going to be something about trance that is crazy different than anything that they've experienced, right? And that's definitely not the case. A light trance is going to feel very much like relaxation, like you're just relaxed. You won't feel zonked out or anything like that. Um, Again, hypnosis is just that natural state where you feel those increasing levels of relaxation, and I'll walk you through it so that you can feel more and more relaxed. Again, you are in total control, okay? So you are in charge, okay? There's nothing I'm going to do that's going to take you out of control. You are totally in control. So I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and just ground yourself. Allow yourself to be really grounded. I want you to think about what's around you. Like, what do you hear? Maybe even you have a vision in your mind as your eyes are closing. What do you see? I'm just allowing you to ground yourself here in reality. What you're feeling, maybe you're feeling like the couch underneath you, the chair or carpet under your feet or anything. And I just want you to take 2 deep breaths, feeling totally calm and totally relaxed. All right, you may sit back, relax, or lay back and relax, and just close your eyes. In a very few moments, you're going to be more relaxed than you've ever known yourself to be. I'm going to mention certain parts of your body. And as I do, I want you to just feel that part begin to relax. Just feel that part begin to relax. In order to help you relax, I want you to imagine yourself laying in a wonderfully magical forest. It's almost nighttime, and the sky is a beautiful indigo blue. The stars are coming out, and the moon is lighting up the rich forest trees. Off in the distance, you hear the hypnotic sounds of a bubbling brook, and the crickets seem to be lulling you to sleep. As you lie motionless, you begin noticing a wonderfully white light just above your head. This white light is the most relaxing light you could imagine. And as it begins to lower around the crown of your head, you seem to be touched with a desire and willingness to relax deeper and deeper with every breath you take. That's right. Continuing lower now, it begins to touch the forehead, doesn't it? And as it does, I want you to feel all the little frown lines, all the little worry lines in the forehead just seem to disappear. The forehead smooths out, feels so relaxed. And I wonder if you can feel this relaxing light coming around the eyes. Now the eyelids seem to become very, very heavy. So heavy, they don't even want to open, do they? They may flutter a bit, but that's okay. Just feel how heavy they are. That's right. And as the relaxation comes down around the facial muscles now, all the little muscles in the facial area just begin to relax. Relaxation comes further down around the mouth now, and all the hundreds of little muscles around the mouth just start to relax. So much so that the lower jawbone becomes heavy and the teeth part. The mouth may even open up a little bit with relaxation as you continue deeper and deeper and deeper relaxed. Feel this relaxation now around the lower jawbone, behind the ears, so that all the little nerve endings behind the ears just seem to relax as you continue deeper and deeper and even deeper now. That's right. The relaxation goes to the back of the neck now, down around the shoulders. And now you feel the shoulders just begin to relax. You can feel them drop a little, can't you? The relaxation seems to go to the backbone now. And as it goes down to the spinal column, it seems to go out the sides so that every muscle, every nerve, and every fiber in the back just seems to relax. The relaxation seems to come now to the small of the back and around your backside. This warm sense of relaxation comes to the back of the thigh now. That's right. And into the hollow of the knee, around the calf of the leg, around the heel, to the bottom of the foot. And each and every toe just relaxes even more and more as you go deeper and deeper and even deeper. That's right. Calm, very peaceful, very relaxed. And now, if necessary, allow yourself to shift your body however you need to in order to become even more comfortable and become even more and more relaxed. We are going to proceed to relax the rest of you now, starting with the throat muscles. Feel the throat muscles just start to relax. The relaxation comes down the fronts of the shoulder, down the upper arms, doesn't it? Over the elbow, down the forearm, to the hand, and each and every finger just relaxes more and more and more as you go deeper, deeper, and deeper relaxed. Just relaxing, doing so very, very well now as you continue to relax. That's right. Feel the relaxation now coming back to the throat muscles, down into the chest, and all the muscles and organs within the stomach just seem to relax. This warm sensation of relaxation goes down into the thighs, over the knees, down the shin bone, across the instep of the foot, and onto the foot itself. And each and every toe just relaxes more and more as you go deeper and deeper. Relax deeper, and as you continue deeper, an even deeper calm, very, very relaxed. Now I want you to imagine yourself standing in this forest, and at the base of the feet is a beautiful stone stairway that leads downward into a very safe valley of relaxation. This staircase will lead you into a profound state of deep, deep hypnosis. We're going to go down these stairs now, and as I count backward from 10 to 0, each number will take you even deeper and deeper and even deeper. When you're ready to go down these stairs, simply nod your head. That's right. Very good. 10. Take that first step down. 9. Deeper and deeper. 8. Way down now. 7. Deeper and deeper. 6. Deeper, feeling very relaxed. That's right. 5. Deeper and deeper. 4. You are going into a deep state of hypnosis now. 3. Going deeper and deeper. 2. Relaxed even to move, feeling very calm. 1. At the next number, you will enter this beautiful place of peace and tranquility called deep, deep hypnosis. More relaxed and peaceful than you've ever known yourself to be. Is that okay with you? Nod your head. Wonderful. 0. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. With each number I count, your eyelids will become heavier and heavier. At the count of 3, you'll find that you can't open your eyes, even if you try. You'll find with a little bit of delight, you simply cannot open them. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. Don't even try anymore. They're just too heavy. The eyelids are returning to normal. That's right. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. With each number I count, your right arm will get heavier and heavier. So heavy, in fact, that when you try to lift it up, it won't go up. Just too heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice how heavy it is. So very heavy, isn't it? Go ahead and try and find out with a little bit of delight. It just won't lift. It's just too heavy. That's okay. It's too much work. It's just too heavy. The arm is returning to normal now. That's right. And now I want you to imagine that there's a string tied around your left wrist, and attached to the other end of that string is a large, bright red, beautiful helium balloon floating up, up, up to the sky. And as I count from 1 to 3, your left arm will begin to lift and go higher with that beautiful balloon. 1, 2, 3. When you're ready to make this change, just allow the arm to drop back down into your lap, sending you 10 times deeper than you are even now. That's right. And just drifting down deeper and deeper now. It can be relaxing and even educational to watch a masterpiece being built, a thing of beauty, a thing of strength, a thing of the most articulate nature. And I wonder if you know what's involved in building a cocoon, a place of protection, change, and metamorphosis. I don't know everything involved, but I remember watching as a child as a very unremarkable caterpillar came to the realization that it's time for change. It's time to take the steps necessary to cast away the unremarkable exterior and allow the beauty that lives inside to come out. The caterpillar surveyed his surroundings, looking for the right way to go about this. Obvious that safety is the primary concern. And so I watched as the caterpillar began weaving its silk, uncommonly strong and amazingly resilient, yet flexible, around the stem of a sturdy leaf, winding round and round and round, doing what it must to build a solid foundation for change, around and around and around. And as the caterpillar works, I'm going to speak directly to your unconscious mind, while your conscious mind idly contemplates the patterns of the glistening silk going round and around and round. Your new identity is that of someone who's confident, a woman who knows her worth, a woman who understands wholeheartedly her purpose and steps into it confidently and unapologetically. Say in your mind right now, I am confident. I have a purpose. I matter. I'm worthy. I am confident. I have a purpose. I matter. I'm worthy. That's right. Your new identity is that of a woman who knows that success is your birthright and goes after it confidently, goes after it consistently, and is excited. You wake up each and every morning excited, knowing that you're called to make a difference, knowing that you're called to have an impact, and knowing that you have exactly what it takes to make it happen. Say in your mind right now, I am successful. I am intentional. I'm excited. I'm empowered. I am successful. I am intentional. I am excited. I am empowered. Letting go of all the tension. Yes, letting go of all the stress. Allow yourself to be at your own ease. totally calm, totally content, as you drift down ever so gently into a deeper, relaxed state. And as a result of this deep, comfortable, and relaxed state, you decide that you're going after what it is you're called to do with no excuses, with confidence, with excitement, with remembering your worth, with knowing that what's on the other side is far greater than what you could even begin to fathom. And as a result of this deep, comfortable, relaxed state, you get to create the success that you're worthy of, that success that you deeply, wholeheartedly desire and deserve. This evening, when you choose to go to bed and sleep, upon putting your head on your pillow, you will go into a deeper, more restful, more sound sleep than at any other time before in your life. If there is anything unresolved about your next steps in creating that success you desire, it will be worked out in the dream state. That's right. When you awaken in the morning, it will be with a renewed sense of strength and vitality in your body, your mind clear and alert, and your energy level high. From this day forward, in your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind, you will find yourself doing whatever is necessary and safe to prioritize your purpose. Whatever it safely takes, you find yourself doing it easily and effortlessly. And soon, very soon indeed, you will feel, you will see, and know that you are worthy and you already have what it takes to see this vision through. And as you continue to watch the cocoon, you begin to notice some movement as the most amazing butterfly begins emerging. And as you realize how easily and naturally change occurs, the butterfly completely transformed and metamorphosized begins taking flight. And as you follow it, you will climb 5 stairs. With each stair you climb, you'll become more aware, more alert, returning to a wakeful state and feeling wonderful and refreshed. 1, integrating all the suggestions you've received and everything you've learned. 2, faculties returning now as you become more aware of yourself and your surroundings. 3, allowing yourself to gently return to wakeful awareness. 4, with a nice big deep breath, stretch out your arms and your legs. And 5, eyes open, wide awake, feeling wonderful and refreshed. Wide awake and welcome back. All right, ladies, I would love, love, love to know how that felt. Feel free to come off mute or type in the chat.
It was amazing. Amazing. I truly floated. Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
I loved it. I'm still trying to come out of it.
Yep, take your time.
I feel really relaxed.
Yeah. And what you'll notice too is it doesn't just stop after the end of this. You'll notice you might feel a little bit tired today. And like I said, you'll get really good rest, making sure that you just drink some water and take care of yourself tonight. Just rest. Just allow all the things to integrate that I kind of embedded in your subconscious mind and just really allow yourself to relax. I think we as women don't do that enough. So yeah, take your time. Thank you guys. Is there any questions that have come up or any thoughts that have come up? I'm
Dr.
open to
Nicola,
answering this. Yeah,
It's Alina. I feel good. I feel just a little groggy, but I had like tension in my neck and I feel so much better. I feel I'm like I don't know who it was, like floating or just like can't explain it. Like not limp, but just like relaxed. Relaxed.
yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah. No, you're welcome. That was my intention when I started it, just to take you to a deeper form of relaxation that most people haven't and don't allow themselves to feel. So I'm
Right.
so glad to know that the tension is removed and that you're just feeling relaxed. And I'm excited to kind of hear tomorrow too how you guys continue to integrate these things and how you continue to feel. So thank you for that. So do we have any more questions? I want to make sure, with you guys being here to honor your time. But, this is a small, intimate group. And so I think it's important to be able to tune in to answer any questions or anything that come up. Um, and if not, that's okay too. I know you guys are still kind of in a different headspace, which is totally fine too. Even when I am the person giving the hypnotherapy session, I even like I can feel myself being relaxed. And I was really intentional today about making sure my bedtime would be a little bit earlier, just knowing that this was coming. So if you guys can, I know some of you have young kids, but if you can just spend some time just relaxing again, hydrating your body, that will be that will be wonderful. So I won't hold you guys on for too much longer. I usually try to keep these around 30 minutes to 45 minutes anyway. But I do want to thank you all for coming. I'm really excited about tomorrow. If some questions, oh yeah, Taisha, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, so I have a question. Is there a difference between mindfulness and hypnotherapy, or are they pretty similar?
That's a really good question. So the way I look at it is mindfulness is more of being attentive to what is in your environment right there and grounding yourself. So I think of mindfulness, I think of like, what do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? All those things? You're just being mindful of what's going on around you. When I think of hypnosis, hypnosis is actually, so it sounds a lot like mindfulness, especially in the beginning. And that's when I'm doing what's called an induction script. So I'm just getting your body like prepped almost for trance. And then when we move into like where I'm embedding suggestions, that goes way deeper than mindfulness because mindfulness is more of like being attentive. Whereas when I'm getting to the other part of the hypnosis script, I'm embedding things into your subconscious mind. And so, like, even throughout this time, what I was saying was like, when they go to sleep at night, task their mind to move towards this. And so I'm giving your subconscious mind things to hold, things to do, things to move towards, which is me being more intentional about what's going into your subconscious mind. But that's not to say that mindfulness is not powerful because mindfulness is definitely very, very powerful.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Jaleesa, you're welcome. You're welcome. Saw your comment. That was a good question, Taisha. I think sometimes people also compare it to like meditation, and meditation is also that hyper focused on like a thought or a thing, like you're being really really focused. This is also being very attentive to what you're focusing on, but again goes to that deeper layer where I'm embedding things into your subconscious mind. And the thing that I love about this, I was actually talking to a client this morning, and I was saying like when I first became a coach, I loved that I was able to like have my clients bend my ear and listen to them. But this is actually a tool that allows transformation to go deeper and to last longer. It's no longer just like, hey, try this, or hey, I'd love to listen to your problem. And I do that. Don't get me wrong. That's definitely a part of the coaching work that I do. But this facilitates like a deeper form of transformation, which I really, really like. And I combine all my different, I have a lot of different tools. Yesterday we did tapping and anchoring, and there's another tool that I use called time. And so I combine all these various things to really be able to facilitate like deep, deep change with the work that I do with my clients. Do we have any more questions?
I have another question.
Uh-huh.
So with the different methods of coaching, does it really like target, because we're training our subconscious mind, right?
Mhm.
So our subconscious mind, is it in a sense learning things through that session?
So
So does it, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So does it like target the different styles of learning?
Yes. So
Okay.
two things. What you're actually doing is you're unlearning a lot of things, like reprogramming your subconscious mind. We have what's called neural pathways in our mind. And the more we think things, we create pathways, almost like if you're driving home from work, you know the route that you go home from work. But what you're doing is you're trying to create a new neural pathway. And every time you create new beliefs, every time you embed these new things into your subconscious mind, you're strengthening these neural pathways, which means that they're easier to access, meaning they're easier to pull things from, they're easier to make decisions from. So one of the certifications that I have in my coaching program is called neuro linguistic programming, and it's all about like the programs and patterns of our mind. We run different programs and patterns in our mind. And there's a great graphic that I teach about, but I'm going to try my best to explain it. So when we're taking in information, there's millions of information going on. And at any one point, we take in like 126 bits of information. And then we filter it like through our senses. But what we filter it based on is also our past experiences. So, for example, I don't know if you've had a bad experience with a lady with box braids and you see another lady with box braids, you're now filtering that, and comparing it to that situation. So what we're doing with these different modalities and approaches is what we're doing is we're changing the way that not only are we taking in information, but the way that we act on that information, the way that information impacts us. And we're bringing in information and creating and aligning it in a way that allows us to move to where we want to be. So like, for example, that client of mine that I shared earlier that was struggling with productivity, he has created neural pathways that have allowed him to believe that productivity wasn't available for him, that productivity was something, oh, I'm not good at that. And every time we say these things, every time we believe these things, we find different things in our environment that reinforce that strengthen those negative neural pathways. What I did is I reprogrammed his mind to start creating new neural pathways to see that productivity was available for him. And slowly but surely, he started getting ideas of things he could do. He started asking for help. He started making different decisions and strengthened this neural pathway to increase his productivity. So it sounds super complex, but really it's literally about reprogramming your mind to align with the success that you want to create. And that's what these tools really teach you to do, because then you start to understand your mind. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm very cognizant of thoughts that I have. I'm really cognizant of like where I'm at, like environments I'm at. I'm super, super cognizant of my energy. Like if I notice, I was talking to Elena earlier, if I don't tap, like if I go a day without tapping, I notice my energy is off. And it sounds crazy, but energy really impacts so much of your life. If you are in a negative energetic state, you're going to attract more things that reinforce that. Here's a perfect example. Two people wake up out of bed, right? One person wakes up and they're like, today sucks. Today's going to be an awful day. And they drive to work and someone's cuts them off, and then they're sticking their middle finger out, they're cussing them out, they're mad. They go to work, their coworker looks at them funny, and so they're mugging their coworker, they're mad, and they're like, I knew today was gonna be bad, right? What happened is they already set this tone, and then in turn, everything that happened around them, they believed that it was bad, and they strengthened that belief with everything that was going on. On the flip side, if they wake up and they're like, you know what, today's gonna be amazing. I really believe today's awesome. They drive to work, the same thing happens. Someone cuts them off and they're like, you know what? Maybe that person's in labor and they're going to the hospital or the doctor or whatever. Okay, I'll pray for them. I hope they're all right. Then they get to work and the same coworker me mugs them, right? And then they're like, man, that's really not like Shari or whatever the coworker's name is. So they walk over like, hey, is everything okay? And she shares, you know what, my mom broke her leg last night and I was in the hospital until 3 a.m. Now you have this opportunity to pray, but pray with her, talk to her, or connect with her and realize it wasn't personal. And that's just a very surface level example. But what ends up happening is what we believe reflects out in our environment. And that sounds so cliche. And trust me, I'm the first person to admit I thought mindset was a major hoax. I'm like, this is way overrated. But yesterday I shared a little bit in the beginning. I was that person that tried all the things. When I was starting my business, I tried all the systems, all the strategies, all the hustle, all the support. I did all the things and I was making absolutely no progress. And I had an amazing coach and she told me, she was like, you have everything in place. It's your mindset. Like you literally are your worst enemy. Like you're in your own way. It was a hard pill to swallow, but I trusted her. And I started to lean in and started studying this stuff. And I'll be honest, like I have an entire doctorate degree and I am more fascinated with the things that I have learned about my mindset than I am about anything I learned in college. And that's not to minimize like college. I love college. Like I love learning. But it like drew me in and I was like drawn in and I wanted to understand the science behind it. And I wanted to understand how it impacted my life. And I just got like very, very like just ingrained in it. And I started to implement these things slowly but surely in little bits at a time. And it changed my life. I can't even put it into words. It changed my life. So I no longer am that person that's like mindset is a hoax or anything like that. Like I firmly believe that that's what's allowed me to get to where I am, you know, obviously in addition to like God and God is giving me that direction and that support. But for me, it was like, I needed to get out of my own way with my thoughts. And we don't even realize, I read a research study that says we have somewhere between like 60 and 80,000 thoughts a day, with 85% of them being negative and 95% of them being repetitive. So essentially we're on this hamster wheel of negative thinking over and over, and it's recycling. So how is that going to impact and play out in our life? It's going to play out where we're attracting more things to be negative about, attracting more things into our life that we don't want into our life. And so essentially what these modalities are doing is they're giving you your power back. They're allowing you to reprogram your mind to attract more things into your life that align with what it is that you want to create. And that's really what I love about about these tools, is because not only are they tools you can use with yourself, these are tools that you then almost create this ripple effect where you get to use them with yourself. People see the change in you. And that's what inspired me to create my certification, because so many of my friends and my family and my clients were like, you're changing, like, but in a good way, like what's happening? And then I just started like getting these tools out there and trying them. Like my daughter, she was running the other day for a track meet and we tapped before her track meet because she had anxiety. My daughter got out there and she knocked it out the park because she was balanced, she felt good, she was focused. But these are tools that I use with my daughters, with my clients. I even shared earlier, thank you for the hearts. I shared earlier, I make my own hypnosis now. Like if I know I'm running up against something, because you never get to a level where you don't run into a limiting belief. Every new level is a new devil. And so when I get to that point, I'm like, okay, I need to create a hypnosis about this, or I need to do a tapping session on this. But it's so great to be able to have these tools like in my hand, to be able to grasp them, to be able to use them, to be able to apply them. So sorry, that was a very long, wordy answer to answer your question.
No, that was good. Thank you for all of that information. I have another question. So I know we're running out of time. Oh man, what was my question? Um, I just lost it. I'll come
Okay.
back.
You know where to find me. I was talking way too long. If it comes up, you can either like DM me. And those that weren't here yesterday, I'm on Nicolia Williams on Instagram. So you can find me there and share the challenge on, you can share about this challenge on there or DM me on there. Or you can also bring your questions tomorrow too. Oh, you're welcome, Elena. I'm glad that it was helpful. Or thank you. Sorry, is what I meant to say. And if the question comes back up, Taisha, you can just ask me. I'm very, very passionate about this stuff. I could literally talk about it all day, and love that you guys are asking these questions. I see Jaleesa, I think, had her hand up, and then Taisha. So go ahead, Jaleesa, you can ask your question.
Absolutely. So you were just saying like how you were in your own way, which that is totally the stage of life that I am in right now. Like I have a million skills and a whole business, and it's like I can't get the pictures done for my website, or like, you know, those minute things. How do you get out of those? I have like 4 loads of laundry that needs to be folded. And it's like those things, they clutter my mind, which prevents me from doing things like scheduling my appointment so that I can get these pictures for my website. So it's like, how did you get out of that mind block consistently? Because I'll do it for like a day, maybe even a week. And then one thing will happen and it will kind of derail me.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. So one, it's identifying that those blocks exist. So you're already taking the first step to recognize, like, and admit, like being vulnerable and saying, I'm in my own way, but then to also get to the root of it. So one of the things that I teach inside my certification too, is I teach like powerful questioning. So like sometimes I think when we ask questions to ourselves, to our clients or anything like that, we ask very surface level questions, like, why are you doing that? But what I'm doing is I'm getting to the root of like why we're making the decisions, because every decision we make, there's a reason that we're making the decision. So even it sounds crazy, this sounds crazy, it sounds crazy. But even like sometimes when if you're a coach and you don't get any clients, and it's like you have almost made it safe in your body to normalize the income level that you're at. And so it's difficult for you to call in the next income level or call in that next client because you've made it safe there, you've normalized it. And so with this powerful questioning, what we do is we get to the root of why it is that you're making those decisions. And then from there, we also talk about like creating the identity that you want. Now, there are two different techniques that I love for that. One is called the swish pattern. And the swish pattern is this really cool neurolinguistic programming pattern where you like identify what the identity is that you want and you almost like swish your way into it. It does these like weird moves, but it allows you to like step into it. The second one is called mapping across. So mapping across is really interesting. I did this with a client of mine who was having like weight loss problems. She unfortunately had a terrible, her fiance died in a car accident out of nowhere. So she was devastated to say the least. And so she started emotionally eating to cope with it. And so eventually she normalized this emotional eating. This is her way of coping with it. So we needed to work through some of the grief, and we did that first. But then once we did that, what I needed to do is I needed to do what was called mapping across. So she had created, again, this sounds crazy, but when we bring in information, we create a pattern around it. So she had created a picture, and our brain is almost like a holographic filing system. So we file away different experiences that we have, and we create meaning around those experiences. And so she created meaning around this breakfast bar that she was eating that had like 1,000,000 calories. It was like a Cinnabon breakfast bar. It was crazy. And she was eating like 6 of them a day. And she created meaning around this and comfort around this. And so I needed to change the meaning around that. And so it sounds complex, and at the same time it sounds simple. But the way we program things in our mind, we create pictures around it. So for example, the breakfast bar, she had this breakfast bar really colorful, really bright, really exciting, close to her mouth. And and I had her like literally walk me through the picture of it. And then we shifted that picture towards something it was that she didn't like. Okay. Now that's a breakfast bar, but essentially what we were doing is we're taking the way that she filed this pattern of her day-to-day action and changed it to create a pattern that aligns with what she wants to create. So for you've somehow normalized, laundry sitting around, and it's created some sort of image in your mind. And so what our job would to be reprogramming that, would be to setting a new identity around what it is you want your house to look like, what productivity looks like, what success looks like for you. Same thing with the pictures on your website. There could be, and this is just a guess, this is not like anything, but just for example, there could be like a lack of confidence. I don't like my pictures, or I don't feel qualified to be this coach. I don't feel qualified to put myself out there. So then again, we would shift that to align with this new identity that you want to step into. And here's the secret. It's not some fake thing. It's not something fake that we're doing. You already are who you need to be to make it happen. The problem is we've convinced ourselves that we're not, because we normalize those negative thoughts, that negative thinking. Thank you for the hearts. We've normalized that negative thinking, those negative patterns, those negative beliefs. And that's why we keep recycling and replaying them. And there's so many, that's what I love about this, because one of the things that I'm passionate about as like a coach, I had a client that came to me and started working with me about a week ago. and she has a coaching certification already. And she was like, I already have a coaching certification, but it doesn't feel like enough. And I feel like a lot of coaches stamp a certification on you, like, here you go, here goes your certification, I'm going about my way. But for me, I'm really teaching you how to use this stuff. Like, what circumstances would you use this in? How do you use it? How do you apply it? Like all of these things, because I don't, and not only how do you apply it with other people, how do you apply it for yourself so that you can step into the coach you're called to be? Like, you serve no one by playing small, right? It serves no one for your pictures not to be on your website, for you to have all this knowledge that you're not getting out into the world. So how can I help you get out of your own way so that you can step into what you're called to do, is essentially what I'm teaching you, so that you can take your power back and you have the tools in your hand to make it happen. I hope that helped a little bit.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Okay. And I knew that. I fight myself so often.
Oh, we all do. There's absolutely no judgment. We all do. And we all come against it, but you're already taking the first step by acknowledging that. And so I want to honor that you acknowledged it.
I sure. Give thanks.
You're
Yes.
welcome. Okay, Taisha, you had another question. And if anyone has to pop off, don't worry. We will be really quick before I answer your question, Taisha. We will definitely be back on tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll be talking about creating achievable outcomes and like, how do we set goals? How are we intentional about reaching them? So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that in case anyone has to pop off. But Taisha, I think your hand was up. Did you have another question?
Yeah, this is my last question. How long is this certification program? Like for like, how long do we have to be in it before receiving our certificate?
Yeah, so it's based on hours. So there's two routes that you can go, and I'll share a little bit about this with you guys tomorrow, because it's really awesome. And I don't say that lightly. I put a lot blood, sweat, and tears figuratively into this thing. I'm really passionate about it. But there's two routes you can go. So one is like a self-study route where there's like pre-recorded modules, and you can go through that 100%. And then I do like hot seat coaching and office hours where you pop in, you ask the questions. And then you would record the different modalities. So I teach you different modalities like hypnosis. I teach you time. I teach you, there's so many. So I teach you these different modalities, and then you get to practice them like on your loved ones, or you can even start getting clients and getting testimonials and maybe doing them for a lower price or for free. And then I grade you on those, and we kind of have a conversation around it. That's one route. The second route is there is pre-study, and it's about oh, man, I've never counted the hours, but I want to say it's like 50 hours of pre-study. And then you do the pre-study, and that's really understanding the patterns of your mind. And then you come to a 5-day training with me. It's on Zoom, and then you do it all live with me. So I go through different modalities. I teach you, you get to practice them, you get feedback, you get that support. And I do keep the trainings really intimate. Because I want to make sure that you really feel supported. So you could go through the pre-study route, and then however long it takes you to get through the pre-study, and then you would join my next live training, or you can do the like at your own pace training, and then that takes however long you essentially want it to take.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's a good question. Do I have any more questions? It can be about today, it can be about yourself, it can be about the certification. If there's any more questions that pop up, feel free to let me know. If not, I know tonight is a little bit longer, but I'm okay with that. I loved the questions today. I love the engagement. You guys are definitely just thinking on the right path, like being honest, being vulnerable, and I just honor you all for being here. Hey, Ruth, did you have a question? I saw you popped off mute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask if someone wanted to write like a book, could you assist with that?
Yeah, so that's actually funny that you asked that, Ruth. That's actually how I started my business. A couple years ago, I went through a divorce, and I joined a single moms group at my local church, and had all these like women ask me how I was balancing all the things, because I was going through divorce, raising 2 kids, working a full-time job, working a part-time job, working on my doctorate. So I was juggling a lot. And I decided I was going to write like an ebook. And the more I started like developing this ebook, I'm like, man, other people might like this too. and eventually went on to write a full book and hit bestseller. And then since then, I've published 10 books, 3 journals, and 3 planners. And so I have a couple clients on here now, actually. So yeah, I've helped with that's, and I still do run my book writing program, my book writing boot camp on the side as well. So definitely, Ruth, we could definitely chat about that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Oh no, you're welcome. That's a wonderful question. All right, guys, are there any more questions that are popping up? I am honestly so surprised my kids are this quiet right now. I was like hoping they would come down. Well, that's what I'm most surprised about.
Yeah, mine is definitely, he's burning out. He's like, mommy. I don't have any more questions, but thank you for your time.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
I'm thankful for your guys' time. Like there's a lot of other ways we could spend our time, but I'm grateful that you guys showed up.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, then I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So start thinking, you're welcome, Elena. Start thinking of some of the goals that you have in mind. We're going to narrow down to one goal and really use like a formula that I use for creating achievable outcomes as it relates to our goals. So start kind of thinking about that tonight as you rest and into tomorrow, and then I will see you all then.
All right.
Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See
See you tomorrow. Good night.
Peace, y'all.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Hey, Ruth.